Hey, it's Carl Deichler here at Beachbody headquarters for SuperStar Diamond Day because I am sitting next to an actual Superstar Diamond, Melissa McAllister. Melissa, congratulations. How did it feel to walk out of the elevator and have 400 Beachbody employees screaming for you that you achieved the highest rank in Team Beachbody?
Overwhelming. I don't know how to explain the feeling of being humbled by what you do and at the same time being celebrated on such a grand scale. It was overwhelming, a lot of emotion.
Now, you've obviously been working on this. It wasn't some overnight success kind of thing. What's your team? Is your team like celebrating along with you? You know, you're here by yourself or you're here with the other Superstar Diamonds, but is your team aware and sharing in this experience in some way?
Oh, absolutely. Even right now, through social media, they're kind of celebrating with me as the day is progressing. And up until this point as well, they've given me a lot of congratulations and you deserve it, and we're here along with you, and we cannot wait until we get there ourselves. Okay.
So everybody starts somewhere. And even for them to be excited to get there themselves, you know, it's a journey, right? What was your why that drove you to excel in this business to this high achievement?
At first it was because of my husband. He's corporate America and he works 6 days a week, like probably 72 hours a week. Wow. And I just really wanted him home. And I remember us going for a walk with our dogs, and I had just started making some income with Beachbody, and I'm like, honey, is this enough? Is this enough for you to be able to come home and to help me with this business? And he's not like, we're not quite there yet. So I just kept pushing and pushing until the day came that he was able to come home.
Wow. Yeah. I'm just curious, how long did that take in the process? Was it a year, a couple years, 3 years?
Yeah, I would say it was probably, I was 2 years in when we had that first walk, and it was within probably another 6 to 9 months that I really pushed at that point, because as soon as he told me it's possible and you're getting there, that I was like, okay, I'm going to push real hard.
That is amazing. I mean, you really had to be pushing hard. And I spoke to you a couple times on the phone. You never sounded like you were pushing hard, but behind the scenes, you really must have just been working. What would you say were the biggest challenges that you had to overcome to achieve this kind of success?
The biggest challenges, I think, are that I'm a very driven person. I always have been. I set goals and I reach for them. And I've noticed that sometimes other people aren't as driven as me. And so for me, it was an obstacle to try not to focus too much on the people that I wanted it so badly for them, but they just weren't at the stage in their life where they were ready to commit as much as I was. And to be able to let that go and to just keep searching for those people that wanted it as badly as I did.
So what was the point with those challenges where you started to see the business like ramp up and sort of take off for you?
Probably honestly, when I started doing the challenges, and I even kind of did challenges before we did challenges. I would put my own together, and I realized when I really put people through the process of being a product of the product and becoming a part of the Beachbody community and the love and support that we have, that I really started to ramp up my business because I took a lot of customers and brought them in as coaches instead.
That's interesting. You don't hear a lot of businesses where you just sort of describe the love and support that we have.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Now, we talk about the 3 vital behaviors, and you mentioned be a product of the product, which I know you're passionate about fitness, so it's sort of easy for you. But there's also, you know, invite, as we say, and do personal development. And we call them the 3 vital behaviors because they are truly vital. Now, how about personal development for you? Is it a part of how you run your business?
Absolutely. In my car is my personal development time. I'm blessed to have a gentleman that I married that loves cars, and so he puts me in a very nice car, and I close my doors, and it's my time to put in some sort of audio CD, and I listen to my personal development.
And do you train your team to do that too?
Absolutely.
So, okay, so we got be a product of the product, do your personal development. Inviting is like the fundamental thing that sort of separates the doers from the pretenders. And what are some of the tips, or how do you train your team to recruit, to invite?
I always tell them that they're looking for the next them, And you cannot prejudge. I don't care if you're at the grocery store, the gas station, or on social media. You cannot prejudge whether or not someone will say yes or no and assume that they're not interested, because they could be the next you. And so you've always got to look at these people like, you know what, they could be the next me or the next Christine Dwyer or Lindsay Matway, and you don't know until you ask. And it's okay that you hear no, but you have to ask.
So, so you keep doing it. So if we were looking at the top 3 recruiting tips, the top 3 tips that you use in a process, I mean, obviously you don't go right for the, to the checkout line and go, would you like a challenge pack? No. Like, what does that process look like?
For me, it usually is social media. I do a lot of friend requests. And I recycle through my friends. I don't have a like page at this point, but I do use a subscriber. So when I have all of my friends, I go through it probably once a month, and I'll get rid of the ones that I know that have told me that they're not interested in Beachbody or doing a challenge with me, and I'll bring in new faces. And I just am constantly posting about nutrition or fitness outside of Beachbody, just something that's my hobby that attracts people. So that's part of the invitation, is to just be attractive. Yeah. And then to also get new eyeballs on you.
By be attractive, do you mean gorgeous?
No.
Well, achieved.
Yeah.
But no, by attractive meaning on the subject matter, you're attracting people to the content.
Yeah. Well, and I tell people all the time, it doesn't, for me, it's always been fitness and nutrition. That's been my hobby since I was out of high school and going into college. And that doesn't have to be you, but you want to attract people that are just like you. Right. Because eventually what's going to come around is health and fitness, because that's important to everybody. The underlying, it's important to everybody. So even if, sewing is your thing, you've got to be attractive in that matter, because what you're going to do is create relationships with people. And eventually it will get to where I'm also a Beachbody coach.
Okay, so step 1 in your top 3 recruiting tips, create relationships with people on some basis that is real.
Yes.
Okay.
Be you.
But sometime that has to transition over looking at a challenge pack, which can be intimidating for people. How do you make that move that is not icky, as they say?
It's not icky.
Yeah.
One of 2 things. Either, like I said, I just post a lot, and so these people that I've built relationships with are going to see my posts on Facebook regardless, and they'll come to me and say, I see that you're doing some sort of 13-day challenge. What's that about? Or I just continue the conversation. And like I said, if you continue a conversation with someone, it always spins around either financial or health, and that's when you introduce Beachbody.
Okay, so number 1, create a relationship. Number 2, eventually it will get to the subject matter in which you are building wealth.
Yes.
But there's a moment that you have to talk about price and credit card and website and pay and buy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How do you get to that? What is your number 3 tip in Melissa's top 3 for, again, it's important that you make the sale.
Yeah.
If a person is going to get the results, you've got to make the sale. How do you do that transition?
I always start by telling them success stories that I've had in the past. So I ramp them up with these challenge packs and these challenge groups that I have done, the success that I have. And the only thing you have to commit to is buying a challenge pack. And then I will talk about really what a great deal that is compared to a meal plan that you would get from a nutritionist or a personal trainer, how much that costs, or how much it costs to have a coach. When it's all wrapped into just this one fee, it's totally worth it. So
that's pretty interesting, because that shows that you're doing the work. I mean, you have to have some awareness. You're thinking, you're conscious about that process, about that transition. You're aware of what the value exchange is and what kind of value a challenge pack. So some people might look at a $200 or $180 challenge pack, but they might say, $180? we were just friends on Facebook, and now it's this $180. But you're then making a comparison. Hey, wait a minute, you said you wanted to achieve this goal in terms of your health, and this is why it's a great value. And I think that is a testament to anybody who's paying attention to this being, I want to be the next Superstar Diamond. You need to do some work to understand what sort of value proposition you offer.
Absolutely, and confidence.
Yeah.
You have to be confident in what are you offering to people, and make no apologies and no excuses for it.
Yeah. So what's it been like? Now here you are, Superstar Diamond. What has a year where you go to the Bahamas with your family, the company sponsors, you go to Tahiti for a week, you're celebrated on stage in Las Vegas in front of 5,000 people. Just give us a little window into what it's like to be a rock star like that. That's pretty cool.
It's great because what we do on a daily basis is very rewarding, but it's also a lot of work. Yeah. And so to take just a little bit of time, especially, I'm so thankful that you always allow us to bring a guest. Because for me to bring my husband as well and for him to benefit from my hard work it's just unbelievable. And it just reminds you, you're working for such a great company and your daily hard work that you do will get paid off, and to keep putting your nose to the grindstone every single day, and that shining day like today will come and you'll just revel in it and be just as happy as a clown.
Well, speaking of your husband, what are you driving now?
Maserati.
Oh, tough. Okay, SuperStar, driving a SuperStar car. That's pretty cool. Now, there's another side of this, sort of a slippery slope on the other side of all this adulation, and that is complacency. It's very easy to go, well, I did it now, and we got the Maserati, and the cash flow is going to continue pretty good. We're making more money than we thought. He's working from home. How do you stay driven? And maybe that's not your intent, that you're like, hey, we're good. This is exactly the waterline. Is there a continuing drive, and how do you continue?
Absolutely. It's a fever. I can't describe it, that I have to just keep excelling, because when I keep excelling, I know that my team is excelling as well. And I'm sure you've heard from the other superstars as well. You push so hard because you want your coaches to be in the exact same position that you are. So as long as I lead by example and I keep growing, so will they.
Now, are you going to be comfortable? Because there is a reality to that transition, that a year like you've had with the spotlight on you and the applause and the confetti guns and all this stuff, right? The other side, that's leading from the front. And now to bring these 15 diamonds ahead, you need to now lead from the back. And that's a little bit of a transition. Are you prepared for that kind of transition?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
I absolutely am. That's where I'm comfortable, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how do you redefine the picture of success? Because, you know, some of these trips and the rewards, and you can still get them. I mean, they're still available as you continue to work. But do you redefine? There's only so many cars you can have, and
Tell my husband that.
All right, I will.
Okay.
Well, you know, everybody, you got a garage, but what? How do you redefine and visualize a different type of success once you've achieved a certain level of success?
Without a doubt, my favorite moment right now, being a coach, and this is a close second, but my favorite moment is at Summit when one of my Star Diamonds, Amanda, was on stage and she got to tell her story. By far my favorite moment, and so for me, that's the definition of success, is to see more and more of my coaches up there being recognized and being appreciated for their hard work. So it's my goal.
Do you quantify that at all? Like this year I'm going to get 4 coaches on stage. I just wonder if there's some sort of drive to get to that end.
5.
5.
Yeah, 5.
All right, you heard it here. Well, this is what it's like to be a SuperStar Diamond, and not just rest at SuperStar Diamond, but to build wealth, to build a team, and help a lot of people. And it's so impressive, and I just can't tell you how grateful we are, because, like I said, this Team Beachbody is the people. It is the coaches and the people who get the results. It's really not the company, it's not the products, but it is this critical mass of people, and you bring so much heart to it, and I just can't tell you how impressive it is. So thanks, and continued good work and good luck, and more success. And if you want to have this kind of celebration around you, it's your turn to step up. A leader just told you how it's done. So good luck, and we'll see you here at the next SuperStar Diamond Day.
Yay. Thank you.
Awesome work.
Thank you.